I am your host, Antoinette, and I have to give a disclaimer. If you hear any noise in the background, I am not in my typical environment when I am recording the show. So I am doing something a little bit different, new, challenging. This is just a challenge for myself. Um, but hey, I'm here. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. My day, it started off a little shaky, but it's coming along. But I wanted to come on here and talk about the topic, love is blind. Okay. Um, is love really blind, or is it like, so I'm gonna like dabble in that a little bit because um sometimes people enter relationships and they see what they want to see, right? You see what you want to see, right? And then towards the ending of the relationship, right? When you over it, when you're done with it, you feel me? You completely done with it, then that's when your eyes are open. And then everything flashes before you, like all the signs, the warnings and everything like that. You start to see things a little bit different and you see things clearer. Um being in a relationship, this is what I think, okay? I'm not no relationship guru or nothing like that. I always stress um I always stress to have a relationship with yourself first, to love yourself, like to go into any get into any relationship and still come out yourself, right? And when you have a strong love for yourself, um, there's no way someone's going to break you down. It's no way. It's no way. You know what I'm saying? That's impossible. There's some women, men, people, okay, who can really say like, "Yo, I ain't never ever been in an abusive, toxic relationship." Now, people have their people bicker. You know what I'm saying? People have um differences and stuff like that, right? But that doesn't mean um it's like the end of, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that, oh, the relationship is going to get sour or anything like that. It doesn't mean that. People have their differences, you know. Sometimes people debate, and everything is not going to be peaches and cream, but hell, every day is not going to be hell, okay, on earth in a relationship. Okay. Now, when I say love is blind, right? And I know all of you guys are probably thinking about that song, love is blind and it'll take over your mind. So, like, with that song, right? When you even listen to that song, right? She was talking about her friend being in a domestic violence relationship, and her not really seeing the signs and everything like that. And this person took her life, right? So it's like you would ask yourself, why would someone stay in that type of relationship, right? It plays on a lot of the psychology, right? So psychology, how you think, how you feel about yourself. Well, how you feel about yourself, right? But really, you got to really break it down, right? Because you could say on the outside looking in, oh, I don't understand why someone would be in that kind of relationship or whatever. But when someone has broken you down, okay, broken you down, right? And when I say broken you down, like mentally played a role on attacking your psyche in a way in which they reprogram it so that you are dependent on them, fearful of them, and um and they control every aspect of you. right? I'm not no psychologist or nothing like that, you know, but based off of the research that I conducted and experience, right? Experience is a great teacher. Okay, life experience is a great teacher. And the beautiful thing about um, you know, learning through life experiences is that once you get it, you don't have to, revisit that. You don't have to, because some people they'll leave a abusive relationship and they end up getting back into the same kind of relationship, right? And there's something about your mind that you have to reprogram. When you get out of a abusive relationship, you have to release all the things that you was told, right? Because it's just like, you know, that's what really keeps people stuck in a relationship, in an abusive relationship, right? It's how this person has programmed your mind to respond. If you have an enormous amount of fear about somebody, right? You walking on eggshells in your house, you trying to appease them, trying to be everything for them, do everything for them to make them feel good, right? And that's your love and your dedication to them. But meanwhile, they're draining your energy, right? They taking your life force away from you. You feel what I'm saying? They taking your essence away, right? You're no longer, oh, you know, exuding in self-love and your individuality. Is like you are dependent on this person. And that's how they want you to be. They want you to be dependent on them, right? They want you to be so stuck on them that you can't even focus on yourself, or you can't even see the truth, right? Because it could be right in your face, but you can't see it because this person has programmed your mind to see what they want you to see, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think when you're in an abusive relationship, right? Once someone hits you, right? It's no longer a normal relationship. That's number one. When someone put their hands on you, like a lot of times people be like, oh, they just hit me one time, because what you do is you're gonna make excuses for the behavior, right? You're gonna make excuses for it. Like, oh, okay, this person was stressed out, maybe I should never said that, or maybe I should never did this. Like you make excuses for it. Make excuses for why someone mistreated you. No one should be putting your hands on you. Absolutely not. They shouldn't be putting their hands on you, making you be fearful, forcing you to do things that you don't want to do, right? Oh, in the name of love. That's what they say. Oh, in the name of love, you know, oh, if you love me, you would do this. It's a lot of manipulation there. A lot of manipulation there, right? So it's just like, do you fall in love or do you stand in love? You stand in love, right? You are aware of what the hell is going on. When people be so overly, because listen, let me tell you something about love and hate, right? Hate will allow you to remove yourself from that situation. Even love too. Love could do that, right? But it's the love that you have for yourself. The love that you have for yourself, you will respect and honor yourself and say, you know what, I don't deserve this. It's not a belief system, it's not a religious, it's none of those things. You're gonna be able to be like, all right, I don't like the way this person is treating me. So therefore, I'm not going to settle. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not going to, you know, um, allow myself to succumb to this, right? Hello to everyone that's entered into this live. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Antoinette. Welcome to Beautiful Start Podcast here on the YouTube channel. But, right, this thing called love, loving someone unconditionally, to the fact that it doesn't even matter what they do. It's like you're gonna be there. And why would you be there when someone is mistreating you, abusing you, verbally abusing you, physically abusing you, taking your money, right? Because people don't talk about the financial abuse. It's a lot of women out there, right? See, an abusive spouse can be equivalent to a pimp almost. Like people don't talk about that. That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole, you know what? I'm going to do a topic like that. It's going to be, after midnight, the late night. We're going to do a late night. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that because some of these abusive men, right? You can say abusive men, abusive women. All right. So I don't want to make it so much on gender so much because anybody can be in a relationship and be abused and be manipulated. Okay. Now I understand, like in relationships, yes, you have people are using each other, right? You know what I'm saying? They feeding off of each other's energy. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's getting out of the relationship something that benefits them, right? But if you're in a relationship and this person is sucking you dry, beating you, taking your money, you know, forcing you to do things that you don't want to do, you know, you have to reevaluate that. You have to sit back and be like, listen, you got to be truthful and honest with yourself. Sometimes the truth hurts. Like, yes, the truth does hurt. But you know what? The truth is liberating because once you know the truth, you can sit back and be like, I'm not dealing with this. I didn't sign up for this, right? Getting down to the root of why you would stay in this kind of relationship, right? You could think about the belief systems that you have in reference to being with one person or being married to one person. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It's so much pressure, right? When you think about culture, right? A lot of times women are demonized for being with multiple men or being married to multiple men or having multiple different baby daddies and stuff like that, baby fathers. And it's just like, okay, if that first marriage or relationship didn't work out and that person was abusive and he nearly set you on fire, you need to leave. Of course you're going to move on, and with moving on is moving on to different relationships. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't put people down or nothing like that. But in this society, they do that with us women, try to make us feel like we can't move on. We have to be with one person for the rest of our lives, even if they wreaking havoc on us, treating us horrible, you know? And it's just like, no, you have the right to move forward and move on and create something different for yourself, right? And that's the love that you have for yourself. Okay. Now, thank you guys for listening, but I have to go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time, subscribe. It's going to be a part two. I'm coming back. I'm coming back with this part two to this, but I have to go right now.